And jumping right into Absolute Batman 16, we have the beautiful cover here by Nick Dragotta. I'm sorry, I always butcher his name. But Absolute Batman 16, we got Batman and Wonder Woman. I just can't tell you how much I love this cover. I mean, it just looks amazing. And then you got Waylon all the way at the bottom. And oh man, this is probably one of my favorite covers that Dragotta has done. I dig it, man. I mean, this cover just looks amazing. But jumping into the book, so we got Friday. Um, this is after the aftermath of Absolute Batman 14, where Bruce Wayne fights Bane, and Batman is just kicks the crap out of Bane, but as a result, the whole stadium goes tumbling down, and we got his coworkers going like, "Wakey, wakey, Bruce, time to build things." And I guess he had to call off work because now he's back, and they're like, "What have you been doing with yourself?" And I mean, right away, like you just see them rebuilding the stadium. It's ironic how like Batman destroys the stadium, and then Bruce Wayne has to build it back up with tons of other people. But the irony is kind of funny. Jumping a little bit further though, we get our first look at Lucius Fox. For those of you that know Lucius Fox from The Dark Knight, and just Batman's history and all the other comics and stuff. Like this is our first introduction to absolute Lucius Fox, and he is his boss, the construction boss, bro. I mean, Scott Snyder just blows it away. Like, oh my god, it's just amazing to see like where he'll put Batman's characters. And here we have Lucius Fox as Bruce's boss. And so he asks, like, where you been, man? Like, you took a break. And, Bruce is like, I'm sorry, it won't happen again. But Fox trusts him. Fox sees diligence in Bruce, and he basically just tells him to touch grass. And later on, we see Bruce going in to interact with Oz and Harvey. And sure enough, like, oh my God, dude, just look at look at Oswald, bro. Like he is just mangled. Like Bane, oh my god. Like Bane really did a downing to Bruce's friends. And it has to strike him hard just to see how bad his friends are hurt, basically because of him. And they throw it in his face. He says, like, hey, I brought subs, your usuals, double steak for you, Harv, and Froz, the bird supreme. And Harvey's just like toying around with him, all that's thoughtful of you, but Oz can't eat solids. And Bruce is like, I'm sorry, man, I didn't know. But yeah, Oz is kind of just like, screw you. And, you just see like Bruce is here. He didn't come to fight. He even says, I didn't come here to fight. And they're just toying with him because of how much like I probably would be too if like a 7 foot giant came up to me, broke me to pieces, and it was my friend's fault. Yeah, I probably would be really pissed off. And they're like, so why did you come here, Bruce, to make things better, to patch it all up? And everyone sees Harv and and they think we're monsters. And it all goes back down to Bruce though, because the irony is that Bruce has everything to lose: friends, his mom, and you know, it's ironic because all other Batmans don't really have anything to lose, and then the absolute Batman has much to lose, and he loses three of his friends. Not all the way, but he does. He loses them, and they don't view him as his friend anymore, which is quite tragic, honestly. So yeah, they end up just balking at him, and Bruce goes away. He knows it's his fault, which it's sad. And Harvey even says harsh Oz, but he deserved it. So, jumping in a little bit, we see the Gotham Museum of Natural History, and all these ancient artifacts. And then we see that I can't remember if it was a pendant or something Wonder Woman gave Bruce, and he basically summons Diana. He says, I demand an audience with Diana of the Wild Isle. It's just so cool, dude. Like, oh my god, just like how he does it, summons Wonder Woman, and the building of the absolute like Trinity is just it's so cool to see. But anyway, she pops up. She says, since the talisman of Hecate will only work 3 times, she can only assume basically like, why'd you call me? It must have been something serious. And after that strike with Oz and Harvey striking Bruce about friendship, he's like, well, listen, I have a friend who's half animal, Waylon, obviously, and he's getting worse, and I need your help to see if, you know, you're a god, basically. You're a goddess, basically, and you've been to places I haven't been to. Surely there's something you can do that might be able to help him. And Diana's like, listen, I can't help him, but there is a place in another realm we could go where we might be able to save your friend. Bruce is like, I have a job. He is Batman, but he is also a construction worker. And she says, luckily, time moves differently there, and it's just quite ironic and cool, honestly. But he, you know, again, after Harvey and Oz like struck at him with that blow, he's like, I want to go now. He needs to help Waylon. He needs to prove this to himself too, to know that he's not ruining everything. So he ends up taking Diana. Well, Diana ends up taking Bruce, and they come into this realm, and he's like, "Is this Hades?" And he's like, "No, it's a place. It's kind of like a purgatory almost between the surface world and the underworld, and it's an interesting area." And he's curious about like her flying horses and everything, and she's like, "Pegasus is still wary of mortals, so basically, she doesn't trust you." And it's kind of funny there. As we continue going on, here's day 2, day 3. If you look at the lightning, it will kill you. If you listen to its song, it will kill you. Oh my god, day 3, bro. There's birds. Day 2, there's lightning. Basically, if you do this or that, it'll kill you. If you stumble, the sands will kill you. And we're on to day 10 now. Keep up. And day 11, Bruce is like, "Is that?" And Diane's like, "Yeah, it's a Cyclops. It's a Cyclops." And if you look it in the eye, and Bruce is like, "Oh, let me guess, he'll kill me." And she's like, "No, it's just impolite. Why would he kill you?" just just the irony. Everything here will kill you except the Cyclops. But anyway, they keep going on, and slowly they're getting to know each other a little better, which is always nice to see. No child should lose their father that way. Obviously, he tells her about how his father was murdered at the zoo, and he died protecting the kids. And you know Diana talks a little bit about a little bit more background of the area and who this dead figure is, and the meaning of the coins on the eyes, like passage to the asylum where fallen heroes dwell. Kind of like Valhalla almost. At least it gives me the Valhalla vibe, and it's really amazing, just like how everything just ties in the absolute universe. I could go on and on about this. It's just so cool. Anyway, they arrive to the bridge, and this is where it's gonna go down. This is where they're gonna go down and fight a being for something that could basically cure Waylon. And so what ends up happening is, oh my god, you got Alfred over here just dragging a big box of meat, and you got Waylon just over here going like, "Meat." And Alfred's like, "Yes, meat in a trolley. Yeah. Over here, not me, not me. I'm just bones here." And Waylon's just like, "Meat." And Alfred whips out his pistol. He's like, "Don't you eat me." And Waylon's just like, "Rah." Bro, I love Waylon, dude. I can't tell if like it's like the the Croc kind of aesthetic is getting to him more, or if he's just like toying around with Alfred. But Alfred just leaves Waylon to eat. Continuing on, we see Diana and Bruce talking, and she's just kind of giving him the rundown of Acrolis is more than a centaur, and she's talking about like how his bow makes 2 legs into 4 and 4 into 2, talking about arms and legs here, basically like to revert to human form kind of. And she's talking about the land he guards is full of beings that can change, but Bruce isn't even paying attention. And she asks like, "Bruce?" And he's like, "I'm sorry, it's just like it's crazy because like you got to look at it from Bruce's perspective. Like he's a guy from Gotham just trying to do the right thing, and now dude, he's in a place with aliens and gods. Like that's just crazy. Again, the absolute universe just ties everything in, and it's such a beautiful picture. And she even says, "I understand your world is new and strange to me here." And she gives him like this treat. Like as we continue down, and it's gonna protect like Bruce against death and injury, and you'll see that in effect later. But he takes the drink and goes to sleep, and there's this beautiful picture of Diana putting the coins on Bruce's eyes. And what happens is he meets his dad again. It's this short and bittersweet moment where he's like, you know what, Dad? And he's like, hey, kiddo. And they hug it out in an embrace, and he tells him to walk with him, and it's amazing to see Thomas Wayne. Like, I've always been a big Thomas Wayne fan, especially from like the Flashpoint Paradox, because like that's probably my favorite Batman, just because I love that Batman more than I do Bruce Wayne. But Absolute Batman is now my new favorite Batman for reasons obviously that are just obvious. Like, he is the coolest villains. He looks amazing. And anyway, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. Back to the book. Um, so he confronts his dad. He's like, Dad, like I've lost everything basically. My friends, it's because of me. I'm trying to save people, but I just keep hurting them. And you know, I'm not a hero like you, Dad. And Thomas is just like, this might come as a surprise, but I don't think of what I did that day at the zoo as saving you. Bruce is like, you don't? He's kind of taken aback. Like, what? And Thomas is like, no, man. For me, saving you was what I did every day before that one. Teaching, being your dad, and it's just, he's just like, you're an engineer, Bruce. Building isn't about anyone ribbon cutting. It's the commitment to making the city better. Ayo, he's basically telling him, like, work every day to make it so little. There will be obstacles, but if you continue on, surely, surely, you will do good. You will do good, son. And it's just this beautiful picture. And Bruce is like, I really miss you, Dad. And he wakes up and he's like, Diana, she's like, sorry, Bruce, it's time. And then she's like, get ready. And they approach the bridge and boom, here we go. She yells, Acrolis! Acrolis, come out and face us. It's just this cool picture. And then, dude, this devil looking guy just comes out. Well, and he just blabbers on a little bit. And he's talking about Diana and the daughter of the Amazons. And he just like spit talks them, bro. He's like, I'm gonna have fun toying with you and your mortal mate. Just the biggest piece of trash insult he could give to Batman. They just yell, "We're not together," and it's such a cool picture. And what ends up happening is they end up fighting. Oh my god, it's so cool. Batman actually fights a god in this story. Like, oh my god. And they go, like, Bruce actually like packs a punch and he hits him down and he just goes tumbling down. And that's it. That's it. He's like, shame. I admit he had a warrior's heart. And Wonder Woman shouts like, Pegasus! And she's like, Godspeed, my friend. She, trying to save Bruce, but Bruce is a goner, dude. Like, after that hit, thankfully, remember, this is where that spell she gave him, that drink or whatever, came in that protects him from death. And, again, this guy, a Crawless, whatever the hell his name is just like making fun of Bruce. But then all of a sudden, he's like, he would have made a fine bat centaur for my stable. Dude. And then, boom, just like that. Hey, Crawless, I got your bat centaur right here. You just see Bruce just come down. But then Acrolis like pulls out his bow. And again, all right, Amazon, from 2 legs. And she's gonna basically like, this bow is the thing Bruce needs to save Wayland. And just like that, he shoots it at Wonder Woman, but Bruce jumps in, takes the hit, tumbles down, because that was targeted for Wonder Woman. But what ends up happening is she don't take that lightly, and she just smacks the living hell out of him. And she just says, watch closely as I transform your base. And oh my god, dude, it's just such a cool aspect. She basically wrecks another god and then runs after Bruce, and Bruce thinks he failed, but sure enough, she's like, nope, you did good. You didn't fail. Remember what you told me. Let's get you home. And Bruce is like, no, not yet. I gotta say bye to my father. But sure enough, Thomas is there and he says goodbye. And it's the afterlife, dude. It's such a beautiful picture of Thomas saying goodbye. Sure enough, Bruce wakes up. He remembers everything she said. And Diana's like, everything you need lies inside you. Bruce pulls out the arrow and he says, turn 2 legs into 4 and 4 into 2. It's the artifact. What that means, he's going to try to turn Croc back. And Lucius, we're back to Lucius Fox, and he's like, morning, Bruce. And he's like, what the hell did you do to your arm? And Bruce is just like, I touched some grass and rode a horse. Lucius is like, but he's like, nah, just kidding. I just slipped in the shower. Come on, it's time to build things. And we get this beautiful closing picture of, Bruce leaving his not batarang, I'm sorry, bat knife from his headpiece. And it's just like, he puts it on this letter and it says, wear this necklace. Oh my God, I'm sorry, guys. I can't talk. Wear this necklace. Let it touch your skin. You are never alone. B. And he's like, Bruce. And it's such this beautiful picture. And I don't know if this necklace is gonna like actually turn Waylon into human. That was my initial guess, but it might also like turn him into a more, you know, DC Comics Killer Croc look rather than an absolute Killer Croc look. But it's, hey, say what you will about absolute Killer Croc. I think the design is fire. But anyway, yeah, so we get this closing picture, and I want to see what Croc turns into, but we don't know yet. But anyway, guys, thank you for joining me so much. This is my first time doing one of these comics. Um, hey, listen, comment down below what you liked, what you didn't like. It's important to me to learn because this is my first one, and it's a lot harder than it looks. So if you guys could just give me a whirl, I'd appreciate it. And please do hit that like and sub. And guys, stay warm. This winter weather is freezing. And yeah, guys, you guys take care. Subscribe.